I'm Zia Khan. I'm the Vice President for Strategy and Evaluation here at the Rockefeller Foundation. And we're very excited that you've all joined us here today because we're very excited about the report that's being launched today. I'd like to start by congratulating and thanking the Centre for Global Development and Social Finance UK for producing this wonderful report that we're here to help launch, a jumping off point for what I believe will be a productive discussion about the potential and the promise of the next evolution of innovative finance for meeting global development goals. The Rockefeller Foundation has been in the business of innovative finance for some time now. 6 years ago, we convened a group of investors, financial institutions, philanthropists, and other top thinkers in the development space to discuss what we saw as a confluence of trends that would allow investors to achieve both social impact goals and financial returns. It was at this very conference that the term impact investing was coined, and for the last 6 years, the Rockefeller Foundation has spent almost $50 million helping to build up the infrastructure of this emerging field, including $10 million to help develop the concept and implementation of social impact bonds. We provided funding for Social Finance UK when the idea for social impact bonds, or SIBs, was first being developed, and were among the first to invest in the Peterborough bond, which continues to promise market rates of return while reducing recidivism among the population of released prisoners. And I was just chatting with Toby of how that's going up front here. We helped bring that same innovation to the United States, where we've spent the last 2 years helping build up the SIBS ecosystem. We're excited by the progress our partners have made and their amazing work. An early indication is President Obama's inclusion of a $300 million proposed fund in his 2014 budget, which is what governments spend when they're open, to encourage state and local governments to adopt social impact bonds to deliver preventative services that will save these governments money down the road. We've seen incredible energy and enthusiasm building across all sectors, driven in part by challenging economic times when governments are still tightening their belts and cutting spending on social services. These cutbacks have been equally severe in development aid spending. In his 2014 budget, President Obama included $2.4 billion less in foreign aid than was promised in 2012. A recent Oxfam report finds that since the financial crisis in 2008, poor countries lost about $140 billion in revenues, and as a result have had to borrow around 40% of their spending over the last 5 years. This increasing debt burden has forced many of these countries, who already have limited funds, to cut back on investments towards critical services, particularly in agriculture and health. At the same time, the flow of private capital is now outpacing official aid flows from developed to developing countries. In the face of this shifting aid landscape, the Rockefeller Foundation joined the Gates Foundation, USAID, DFID, and others to fund the working group that explored the potential to improve aid efficiency and cost effectiveness by creating development impact bonds. The working group developed not only the principles and frameworks for development impact bonds, or DIBs, but kept an eye towards real applications. And what excited me most about the report that many of you have in your hands right now are the specific case studies ranging from HIV prevention in Swaziland to scaling up low-cost schools in Pakistan, where DIBs can play a role in developing scalable and sustainable solutions. There are many trends that we believe will support the take-up of DIBs. First, there's enormous appetite for this kind of innovation at a global level. A 2013 survey of 99 impact investors showed that they were committing more than $9 billion this year, and studies estimate there's potential to unlock behind $400 billion and $1 trillion towards impact investing by 2020. Second, there's increasing recognition of the need for partnerships to solve our most pressing problems, and DIBs are a really good platform for organizing these partnerships. We've learned through our work in SIBs, and more generally through all of our work, that impact is accelerated when all players, including investors, are aligned on the expected outcomes, as this allows for greater flexibility in how those outcomes will be accomplished. Third, there's a growing focus on accountability. We have found that when there is private money on the table, the attention placed on realizing measurable outcomes increases. It catalyzes greater monitoring and evaluation and the learning that comes from those activities. More importantly, as the report states, clarity of desired outcomes allows for more flexibility and innovation in locally tailored approaches that aim to realize those outcomes. Certainly, we see a role for philanthropy as a catalyst to provide the concessionary capital, grants, and subsidies needed to offset the initially high transaction costs and demonstrate DIBS as a viable instrument. This is the role that we at the Rockefeller Foundation and others have played in catalyzing social impact bonds here in the U.S. Philanthropy must help take the risk out of the innovation. We need to help the transition from idea to practice, which is what we're trying to do in supporting actual deals now in the United States. This transition to focusing on deals themselves is the emerging focus of our work on innovative finance more broadly at the Rockefeller Foundation. How do we deploy innovative finance as a tool towards solving the important problems that relate to our goals in advancing health, revaluing ecosystems, securing livelihoods, and transforming cities? I'd like to again congratulate and thank all those who are involved in this very important report and look forward to the discussion that I unfortunately will not be able to join in its entirety, but that will help jumpstart the application of development impact bonds towards the important challenges that we face. Thank you very much.